morning guys, Diana here from Garden Love. Today I'm going to be doing something that's so hard for most of us to do, but it must be done. I actually was messaging with someone on Instagram and we were talking about a newly transplanted tree, and I noticed that there was fruit on the tree and it was suffering a little bit from I was going into shock from the transplant, and I started thinking about my Satsuma tree that you guys saw a video a few weeks ago that I transplanted. Considering the fact that it was transplanted, it is doing amazing. As you can see, it still has all its leaves. It didn't really lose not one leaf. I can see one right here going a little yellow, which will be dying off, which is, there we go. It's normal when you transplant a tree. I mean, it's gonna protect itself and drop what it can. However, this tree is just a rock star. As you guys can see, it didn't drop any of its leaves. It didn't drop any of its fruit. And that's why we're here today, because I want this tree to be set up for success. And in order for me to do that, I'm gonna have to do something that's very hard for all of us to do. I'm gonna have to take some of this fruit off, if not all of it, because this tree really wants to start producing fruit. As you can see, some of them are already pretty big, which is concerning because I want this tree, oh my god, look at these are already so big. I want this tree to focus on its roots and on its branches. Satsumas are already trees that don't grow as fast as the other citrus trees, and for that reason I do want this tree to get a little larger so it can get a little stronger and it can support the fruit once I let it fruit. And as you can see, look at these, oh my god, these are all over the tree. The tree is definitely a rock star. It wants to start producing, it wants to start growing, but I don't want the tree to focus all its energy on these little fruits. If you guys saw that video, you guys would be able to tell that this tree didn't have a huge root system. So since it didn't have a huge root system, you know, the roots aren't large enough for this tree to carry any fruit. Oh my god, look at these. I don't know if you guys can see that. So this is definitely a tip that I want to give you guys. I know it's hard. Look at how this fruit. I know it's hard, especially because when you first buy a tree, that's all you want. You want fruit out of it. You dream about the first taste you get from tasting your first homegrown fruit. And I know this is heartbreaking, and I know that the thought of you having to wait a whole nother year is just torture. But I promise you that if you do this, you will have a stronger tree, you will have better fruit the following year, and you would be setting up your tree for success. They're kind of like our babies, you know, for any of you guys that have kids. As cute as they look sometimes when they do grown-up stuff and you're like, oh my god, my baby's so mature, she or he already knows how to do that, you know, but some part of you know that, okay, they need to slow down. They need to focus on other things, on things that it's age appropriate. And right now this little tree is acting like an adult, and it's not age appropriate. It needs to slow down, focus on the foundation, which is the roots and the leaves and the branching. But yes guys, if you guys have a brand new tree, the things that you could expect from a brand new tree is leaf dropping, some leaves turning yellow, because that means they're gonna drop pretty soon. It might drop some of this fruit, it might not, okay? If it doesn't, it's your job to go and take it off. Just for those trees that were just transplanted. And you know what, and if you have a young tree that look at all of this, oh my god. If you have a young tree that you've had in the ground for a year or two, or maybe just a year, and it's still small, I would still take the fruit off. I would, if you haven't seen much growth, you need that tree to focus its growth focus on it growing instead of it producing. You guys are gonna be, look at this. How much fruit this tree was holding on to. Just wanted to impress me. And there's still a lot more, guys. Let's see. I can assure you that now that I'm doing this, this tree is going to go crazy growing new leaves. Oh my God, they're all over the place. I'm gonna give you guys an update in a few weeks so you guys can see. And I'm gonna step back so you guys can see. Take a mental note of how small this tree is, okay? See that? And I'm gonna come back in a few weeks after I do this, and you are gonna be surprised how much this tree is going to grow. Look at that. Wow, this tree definitely wanted to produce. Alright guys, well, now that we had a little chat about this, I hope that you get the courage to do the same to your young trees, and not to worry when you transplant your tree if it turns some of the leaves turn yellow and they start dropping. As long as you do see sign of life and you see some new leaves sprouting, that's perfectly fine. I do want to say that if you transplant a tree and it loses most of its leaves, you have to give it some sun protection, because the trunk is going to be exposed to the sun and you don't want that to start cracking and drying out and dying off. So highly suggest to provide it with some shade, either with the shading cloth or some Ivy Organic, something where you can paint your trunk with. I am going to post both of those on an Amazon link in the description down below. So if you don't know what to get, I'll post it in the link down below, so that way you guys don't have to struggle in finding the products. Alright guys, I hope this was helpful. You guys have a blessed day. I'll see you in the next one. I want to see some comments to see if you guys have done this or you guys are going to after this video. Oh my God, how did I miss this? And just let me know where you're at when it comes to this. If you guys did it, haven't done it, or if you're going to get the courage after this video to do it. You guys have a blessed day. See you in the next one.